It is a debate which has raged on in the office since the pandemic. Does working from home make employees happier and more productive?
Well, might make them happier. The first scientific experiment to measure the effects has found that employees enjoy jobs more when they're allowed to do them from home for part of the week. However, doesn't seem to make them any more efficient.
I wonder why. So today we are asking, working from home, should we allow it, or is it just a licence to be lazy?
All right, let's talk to former Apprentice star Ryan Mark Parsons and media commentator Fahima Mahomed. Good to see you both this morning. Ryan Mark, I mean, basically, people need an office environment, don't they?
Absolutely. And I think I talk especially on behalf of young people. And what comes to mind are recent graduates, perhaps from university, or they could be starting apprenticeships at very young, at the start of their careers. And I think it really impairs their professional growth if they're stuck behind a screen, two-dimensionally communicating with colleagues. They haven't got that chemistry that you get in real life that you guys have in the studio, where you could go and see your boss if you wanted to discuss a promotion or discuss how you can do better at your job. All of that is limited when you're working from home. And I'm not surprised that a major survey from studies from the US and UK found that thousands of young people, 18 to 24, 81% found themselves to be incredibly isolated because of working from home or any hybrid working structures. And that makes me sad. It makes me sad that young people like myself could be starting their careers and they can't do anything about the work systems and the timetables they have in place, where they have to work from home, and all of the professional growth that you would enjoy from being in the office, mingling with colleagues, even the social aspect, is completely ripped away from them. And I think that is a really utterly sad state of affairs.
Fahima, what do you make of it?
I think that's quite an exaggeration, and we are only looking at one demographic when we're coming to young people. You can shake your head and think what you want, but there are several studies to show that there are performance metrics to show that there is much more productivity. Even sort of legislation from YouGov actually, promoting to support employment and have the UK actually the best working practice and labour market there is, because the hybrid allows a work-life balance. And at the same time, so many industries and businesses do actually support the hybrid labour market, where they are actually coming into the office. Plus, it also does allow them to actually work more productively and efficiently when it's in their own time. They are less stressed with commuting. They are spending less. And it's actually even better for the environment, where everyone's not going in and coming out at the same time. And there is so much support for working at home. And it's not just to say that if you're at home, you are just confined to your space. Hybrid means that you have that flexibility and you can go in and come out, and you definitely have meetings online, even if you are at home, where you can actually ask those questions, and it's much more efficient for you. If you think that you have to always go out and be seen in order to be productive, that's just a cultural bias and a, conception that, it doesn't really match the reality, as studies also show that the productivity has actually risen from Harvard studies, from the Stanford studies, as well as the ProtoSearch, the Airtasker studies. There's so much that we can counter this with. And if you look at people overall, they're actually much more happier knowing that they actually have that flexibility to choose to work without the stress of commuting, especially when you are in London like myself.
Ryan Mark, I can see you shaking your head.
Yeah, well, I just disagree with all of that, really. I have to refute the study she's citing. I mean, I found a study from the Workforce Institute that suggested that 57% of managers found that there was a productivity reduction because of working from home or hybrid working. And even Mental Health UK, and this isn't just a younger worker demographic, this is across the ages. Mental Health UK found that 42% of workers felt isolated, and that exacerbated burnout as a result. So we're seeing these studies emerge that completely conflict with what the other guest is saying. And it would also reinforce my point that working from home isn't productive, it isn't successful, and people need to get back to the office and work full time in the office, because I think it's like you said at the top of the show, it is a license to be lazy. It really just catalyzes apathy, and young people, especially, that's the main worker demographic I'm concerned about, because I really think it stunts their growth in a job if they are told that they've got a hybrid working situation. Of course, when there's hybrid working, people don't want to go to the office because people are generally lazy, and that's the reality of life.